Welcome to Being Light. Welcome back, Sister Shivani,
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Shanti. We were discussing about the qualities that make an effective team. And we also said the typical way team is defined or expanded is together everyone achieves more. Based on the conversation that we were having, I think we have reached a stage to redefine what team means so that each one of us also gets to know what is the role we need to play. Trust, empathy, acceptance, and motivation together makes team.
A deeper meaning of that team is very important because sometimes we say team only when people are working together. Say don't work alone, work with the team.
Yeah.
And then that definition which you said together,
Yeah.
when all of us are together, we achieve more. But all of us are together here.
Mm.
Once I was talking to a team who plays a national level sport. Okay. And just while talking, it was coming out that while we are playing and all the players, all 12 are on the field, in our minds, sometimes we're critical about the other person. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have done this. How could they do this? If I would have been there, I would have done it better. So then what came out was, are you playing against the other team? Or are you really playing against each other in your minds?
In your minds, yes.
So when there's a break, you will come together.
Correct.
And shake hands and say, we are a team. But when you're actually on the field, you are critical inside, and that's not going to create that alignment. Yes. And that's why those 4 words which you said, trust. And empathize. Then acceptance.
Yes.
And only then truly motivation. Because
people
then
will get motivated,
trust, empathy, and acceptance is radiating pure energy. When we look at the word motivation, we think it's about, saying, okay, you can do it. You're very good. You did it last time. Okay, even if you have a problem, we are with you. And inside, it's something else. But if we trust the other person, pure energy, we empathize, which means we understand their sanskars, a little baggage which they may be carrying, or something at home which they're carrying to work. We empathize, so we are not judgmental. So again, pure energy, and accept the person. Pure energy, sending this pure energy is what raises the energy level of the other person, and that's motivation.
Exactly.
I could be saying the best of words, but if I'm not radiating pure energy to another person, I cannot motivate them, because they'll listen to all my nice words and they'll say, yeah, good. But you know what? I can't do it.
Because they don't have the power.
So we have motivation means radiate power, not words. Radiate power, because the words that we're giving to the other person, they actually know most of it. What new thing are we going to tell another person? You can do it, this. They know it all. Even when somebody wants to give up some addiction, we say, Nana, you can do it. They want to do it, but they say, I'm not able to do it.
Yes.
So there are a lot of things I want to do. I want to do more than anyone else wanting me to do. I want to do, but I'm not able to do. So to create a transformation or to do something, I need 2 things. One is the knowledge of what to do, and second is the power to do it.
Yes.
If we just make a list, there's so much we know what we should do, what we should not do. But when it comes to practical, even a simple thing like anger is not good for me, I know it. I know it. But then I say, but us time kya karu? Aa gaya. So I don't have the power to implement what I know. So that same applies for the team. Same applies for your family at home, your children. They know the right and wrong. Radiate the power to them to implement the right. And that's true motivation. And that will come with this trust, empathy, acceptance. Just take the opposite of this, that instead of trusting, you're doubting somebody in your mind. But being nice to them in your words. Even a simple thing, you're always late. Come on time tomorrow. And in my mind, not sure what they'll do tomorrow, because they never come on time. So I'm doubting you. I'm not empathizing that you have a sanskar, very deep rooted. You do try your best, but somewhere that brain wiring is not working for you right now. So I'm not empathizing and I'm being judgmental about your sanskar. So trust, empathy, acceptance, all three are not there. I'm radiating heavy negative energy to you. Now leave alone motivate, but I disempower you. I deplete you by radiating this. So at any point of time, we would either empower someone or we will disempower them. We're never neutral because either I'm creating a high vibration thought or I'm creating a low vibration thought. So, and I either empower myself while creating it, but even if I'm doubting you, I'm first disempowering myself because it's a low energy thought. Then I'm disempowering you, and then I'm disempowering the entire team. And so together we achieve more will not happen.
Exactly.
It will not happen. So the deeper meaning is what is more important.
Very nice. And for us to remember, in this day and age of tea and coffee, each time you take a break, as a team, you can keep having tea. Trust, empathy, and acceptance.
Beautiful.
So have a cup of tea in the morning, and then when you get into the office, then you start working as a team much better.
You can make that as a part of your affirmation every morning. Because due to past experiences, I may have certain doubts about somebody's behavior or working capacity. They may not change, but I need to change my thought about them. Because it's my role as a team member. So the shift has to be first in my mind. The shift in my mind will give them the power to shift. So instead of waiting for them to shift, let me shift because what we think manifests. So if I keep doubting, then that will manifest. And then I say, I already knew you are like that, but it's not about you are like that. It's about what I've been thinking about you also. So create an affirmation for yourself about your team and yourself and say to yourself every morning, I trust each one. I trust their intentions. I trust their capacities. I trust each one is giving more than their capacity. This also is changing the wiring in your brain.
Absolutely.
Because you're changing your thought.
Exactly.
And your thought is sending a signal. You're creating a new groove. So you're shifting from that groove of doubt to a groove of trust.
Absolutely.
I understand them.
Yes.
I accept them as they are.
Yes.
I accept them as they are. This is a line which I need to say maybe once every hour, maybe more than that.
Because that reinforcement helps for me to first transform myself and how I process the information. Same kind of input, if I use the computer science background a little bit, the same input can generate different kinds of output based on the algorithm that I use to process the input.
Very true.
So here, what we are talking about is the inputs to start with may not change because they are stuck in their sanskars, we understand. But can I change my algorithms here so that for the same output, it's processed differently, and because it's processed differently, my output becomes different. And as we said, even in our experience, we have seen that when, again, going back to what we discussed, when my positive output is both persistent and consistent, then naturally their input will also start changing.
Keeping the equation in mind, it's not their behavior which creates my thoughts. It's my thoughts which will influence their behavior.
It's the other way around.
So keeping the equation very right. Today somebody will say, but they do this every day. How can I trust them? So which means you're creating your thought based on their behavior. The thought doesn't have to be a result of their behavior. Their behavior has to be a result of our thoughts.
Our thoughts, yes.
So the power is from inside out. And that's the role of the leader. So anyone who's doing this is the leader of the team.
Exactly.
is the leader, because it's the leader who's radiating the right energy to every team member. Correct. It's the leader who's motivating everyone, very subtle way.
Yes.
And people will feel comfortable in their presence. Everything will go into a cycle because people can sense a vibration of acceptance, and we can sense a vibration of rejection and resistance. We're not dependent on words to feel that.
Correct.
We've all experienced somebody being very nice to us in their words, sitting and saying every word accurate, and yet we don't feel an acceptance from them. We all know that. So we need to know where the motivation is. It's not in the best of words and the best of messages. It's in the best of thinking.
Thinking, absolutely. And this is where this aspect of we creating the world first inside, and then that's what manifests outside. We also call this as, even for the self, as self-fulfilling prophecy. You profess something, right, that I cannot trust this fellow for these reasons, and that's exactly how that person behaves. And now you tell yourself, see, I told you.
Exactly. I knew it.
I knew it. So that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, it's like that kid who comes home and tells the mother, you know, mom, this math teacher is so difficult. He set such a difficult paper. I don't think I will ever cross 40. And when he actually gets 40, he feels very proud because he feels very triumphant. Mama, I told you. Yeah. See, I can't cross 40 and I got 40. But what experience and research also shows is this belief that I cannot get more than 40 in a very, very subtle way adjusts the lever of my motivation and effort such that I put just enough effort only for that 40, not because I cannot put more effort, but because I have artificially reduced the lever and adjusted it, because that's what I started believing. So if I believe, what you're saying is, my belief about that other person doesn't have to depend on their behavior, because my belief has the power to change their behavior. So each day I walk into the team, I program myself with these positive beliefs, which over the course of time, again I repeat, it's not going to happen in a day or two. Sometimes we may not get the result immediately or in the first few weeks or months. But if I'm consistent and persistent, then the team's environment starts changing. And then with trust, empathy, acceptance, and motivation, with this team, we go to the other definition of the team, where truly together everyone achieves more.
Because then they are all in alignment. It's not about being together physically or working together on something. Correct. Like you said, you could be distant physically, but in alignment. Yes. So once that is happening, then the energies are in alignment. Correct. And that will create the collective energy.
Absolutely.
If 5 people are working in a room, but it's a different vibration, results not going to be there because they're not aligned. But if 5 create the same high vibration, they'll create miracles.
Correct. And interestingly, that logically brings us to the third aspect of those 5 aspects of the effective teams we were discussing. Just to recall, first one was psychological safety, second one was dependability, and the third one is structure and clarity. Do team members know what the team and project goals are and how to get there? Do team members feel like they have autonomy, ownership, and their pie of the work that they need to contribute to?
Right.
So that's the third element of having this external structure. And what you just shared is also having the clarity about the internal structure, because it's always both ways. It's not just what's external, it's also what's internal. So am I structured internally, and do I have that clarity internally which then manifests in the form of we being able to articulate things such that everyone understands. And then there's clarity.
When vibrations are aligned, thought processes are in sync. And when we are thinking high about somebody, even if they are not over there, you need less words.
Correct.
You need less words to express yourself because you're just radiating the right energy. And the other person also knows the intention and the energy which you are radiating to them. So when all that is together, the result that you're going to have.
Yes.
And a sense of belonging. When it says a sense of belonging, it's not, normally a leader will say, do my people have a sense of belonging? For the team or for the organization, or how do I create a sense of belonging in them for the organization? People today only bring their heads to work. They're not bringing their hearts to work. For them to bring their hearts to work, are you being the parent so that they feel like a child? It's like a parent saying, is the child feeling that belongingness to the family? Is the parent playing the role of the parent right? Again, we can't change the team. We only need to check, am I being that parent? So mother, acceptance, motivating, trust, the other person will change.
Just to clarify, we are not talking about the parent in a patronizing manner. We are talking just about the qualities of the parent being displayed.
The relationship where you have that maximum feeling of belongingness. This is my home, like in a house, you wouldn't say, this is my work. This is not my work. I'll pick up, this is my work. You will pick up this and put it away. This is your work. We will not have this vocabulary at home. Correct. Because it's like my home.
Yes.
It's my family. And everything here is my responsibility. That's ownership. This is mine. But when I go to office, it's like their company. And I'm just working for them. So I will put in my 100%. I'm sincere, I'm honest. But that feeling that all this belongs to me, and even if nobody's doing it, I'm doing it not because I will get something in return, but I'm doing it because I feel this whole thing belongs to me. That's a very different energy. I could be doing something only to go
up.
Yeah. Now at home, I'm not going to go up anywhere. Nowhere. So I'm not going to get anything in return of doing what we are doing. But I do it because I say, this is my house. I am responsible that everything has to go right here. So even if no one's doing it, I do it. And I don't even feel I'm doing it. It's so natural. So this belongingness has to be a very natural sanskar. That I don't even feel, or I don't even keep saying to other people, I just do it. So that same feeling, I can just carry it to work.
Yes. Today what's happened at the workplace is, at certain level, the relationship between the employees and the organization is adversarial. We don't look at each other as belonging to one unit. We feel each one is there for our own selfishness. I take whatever I want, and parties think the same way. Temporarily, even if they see some progress, it's not sustainable because that creates a lot of stress. But when the organization, by that I mean the leaders and the team members, when the leaders feel that the team members belong to them in the sense that you just shared, then the team members start feeling that the leaders also belong to them. Then that belongingness naturally blossoms, and then we don't have to start worrying about misunderstanding or miscommunication, because that structure, that clarity, that dependability, that psychological safety automatically emerges.
It will happen. And then you will express yourself. You will say what's on your mind because you feel it's important for that family. It's the family.
Correct.
So you will not fear, you will not hide, you will be honest. Everything will fall into place. In the spiritual vocabulary, we learn a very beautiful line. Malik ban ke rai do, or balak ban ke swikar karo.
Correct.
Malik banke means feel that belongingness to the place where you are. Whichever place, it's at home, it's with friends, it's in an organization. Malik banke rai do means express yourself. Give your opinion. Feel that this is my place and I should do it for the good of this place.
Correct.
But your opinion may not always be accepted by the other person.
Yes.
Balak banke sweekar karo. Then become a child that, okay, I gave my opinion, not necessarily everybody will accept it. But sometimes we give it, it's not accepted. Next time we say, then why should I say? Anyways, they don't accept what I say. So then that belongingness gets affected.
Exactly.
So belongingness means always, not dependent on whether, it was reciprocated, not reciprocated, accepted, not accepted. I feel the belongingness. You can take your time to feel it.
Exactly.
We can't wait, okay, when my leader makes me feel that belongingness. No. So be looking at it from both perspectives. One, the leader. Of course, makes the people feel like a family, and which means how would you be with your family? Be like that with people. Again, those words, trust them, empathize with them, accept them. But now from the other side, I don't wait for my leader to be like that.
Exactly.
So I feel that belongingness. Maybe the other person still doesn't feel it. So let them take their time to feel it. I am the first one to feel it. And I continue doing it. Then even that concept that I am doing, others are not working as hard or others are not putting in. So why should I be the one? Because I feel that belongingness.
Absolutely. And when we have this, naturally, whatever we do at the workplace starts becoming more meaningful. That's the fourth element, the meaning. Does the work give team members a sense of personal and professional fulfillment? Is work matched to team members based on both skills or ability and interest? So there's skill and then there is interest. So does the work match the team members? Is there that mapping? So when these elements are put in place, it's not only the kind of work that you're doing, but the act of doing itself becomes a contribution. It's not just you doing a piece of work, but it becomes your contribution to the larger whole. That means naturally, your piece of work starts becoming more and more meaningful.
And most important is how you're feeling inside while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
I mean, like here at the Brahma Kumaris, suppose here where we are at the headquarters right now, there are overall about 1,000 plus brothers and sisters serving, doing seva together. It's work. There's a lot of work. Somebody is in the electrical department, somebody's in tailoring, somebody's in cooking, somebody's looking after accommodation. It's all work. Not all work is interesting.
Exactly. Let's agree that. Very important point. Yes.
Some work can be very, very monotonous,
boring,
daily, and there's no Sunday here. There's no holiday here. And we're not leaving and going home at the end of the day. So there cannot be any other example better than this, where you're working 7 days a week and 24/7. At least when we go to work in the professional setup, I know that at 8 o'clock in the evening, I'm going home. So my remaining 12 hours, I'm with a different set of people who I call my family. And 12 hours, I'm working here. And then I get my Saturday, Sunday, and Diwali and everything. But what about a set of people who's working 365 days, 24 hours, without getting a salary? Without getting a promotion, without there being a hierarchy, and without there being anyone to check them whether they're doing it right or no. And of course, there's nobody to motivate them. Just all doing it themselves. And yet for years, I mean, you can just walk up to anybody here and there can be someone who's been doing it for 20 years, someone who's been doing it for 30 years. Some are there since 50 years doing the same thing every single day. And if you just look at it only at a physical sense, I said nobody can be leading a more boring life than what you are leading, that since 50 years you're leading this. And you look at the person's face and you will feel there's nobody more happier than him on this planet.
Absolutely.
So again, the work has nothing to do with how you are feeling. But when I made the equation the other way around, that it's outside in, so I thought I needed interesting work to feel happy. And I got interesting work, but after 6 months or a year, that work was not interesting enough for me, because now that's become my normal work. So now I need again something more stimulating, more. It's like an addiction. After some time, that dose doesn't work to give me that high. So I need another. So people say, I need to shift, I need to change, I need to go here, because it's the work which is giving them the happiness. The truth is, be happy, energize yourself every day, and now go to work. Even the most boring task can be great fun.
It's very interesting. My mom and my aunt at home, both of them, I've been seeing them since childhood. Every single day, their day begins at around 3:30 a.m. Not once, amazing, not once did they say, it's so boring for me to repeat the same stuff.
Right.
Never. A mother never says that.
It. Exactly.
Because she finds meaning. It's not that the work gives meaning, it's that the mother extracts the meaning from whatever she is doing, because she considers that as a contribution.
And the feeling of belongingness.
Belongingness. And that I feel.
And also a feeling of serving and giving to the family.
Exactly.
So the mother is, the mother's not doing it for getting something in the return.
Yeah.
So it's just for give.
When you start feeling that meaning, that kind of work creates the impact, which is the fifth element, interestingly, both inside and outside. And the questions under the title impact is, do team members see their work as creating change for the better? Do team members feel their work matters for a higher order goal? How are current team processes affecting the well-being or the burnout? So when there's psychological safety, when there's dependability, when there's structure and clarity, when you start feeling that you're doing meaningful work, then that is what going to create impact both inside and outside. And to bring back the point that you were talking about some time ago, when these elements are in place, that's when the soul power, or in general the power of the team, starts increasing. And we can clearly see from this research itself that Google itself has done, that when the team operates at that high energy, naturally your profits are going to rise. And it clearly shows that if you want this,
you have to do this.
This is the prerequisite. You cannot give lip service to this and then expect this to come. So the more team operates at that high energy level, the higher will be your profits. And we can clearly see that unless this is achieved, these high profits cannot be sustainable.
Because we need to keep the equation right, that it's from inside out. So the higher you're going inside, your outside will automatically be high. I mean, that's something you don't need to think about. So take care of your people. Your people will create miracles in the work.
Absolutely.
But if you're thinking about only the work, and because of which not taking care of the people, then you have a team of stressed, competitive, pulling each other down, critical about each other in their minds, and together they're still doing so much. But so imagine if they're really together in alignment. So what's that they were going to create for the organization?
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.